Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Rush Hour podcast. I am Harrison Werner here with my co-host Dr. Rush. And today we have a very special guest who we will introduce in a minute, but let's rush into it.
All right, Harrison, busy night last night. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's talk about our guest. So, for me, this is a really cool moment because I've known this person for a really long time. He was single digits when I met him. I had an opportunity to teach him and coach him in fifth grade. We had a flag football team, and then got to coach him in seventh grade football, where we ran no huddle, up tempo. He had the wristband calling in plays, mostly because our offensive line was the 70-pound club outside of Josh Becker.
Great memory.
So, it is Jared Sandler, ladies and gentlemen. Jared is one of the voices of the Texas Rangers. Really great to have Jared here. Spent time doing broadcast stuff back in his California USC days, and has risen to stardom. Is really well known in the area. He and his wife also are really charitable. Work with Dirk Nowitzki in a golf-related fundraising event, and so really charitable, and is a Dallas guy through and through. So, Jared, thank you for giving up time to me and to Harrison. And for me, it's kind of cool just to see two the middle school of the past and the middle school now come together and talk sports. So I'm very excited about today.
Well, I'm really happy to be here. First of all, love the podcast. You guys know this because I text you guys, but big listeners. So this is a treat for me. I remember when Harrison was shorter than me. So you talk about the evolution of things, but I knocked the mic. This is really cool for me. Dr. Rush was a really, I think, influential part of my time when I was kind of that middle school age, when you taught and coached me. I think you find that there are teachers and coaches you connect with when you love sports. Maybe it's more coaches, but when you have a teacher who you can connect with on the same level, like your passions, that's really meaningful. And you were that for me. And also, you called one of the greatest plays in seventh grade football. Halfback toss, fake, quarterback keeper against First Baptist. I don't know if you remember this. How many games did we win that year?
Not many.
Yeah, not many. But I don't know how many points we were down, but a touchdown was going to win. It was like the last play of the game. We called a toss in the huddle, but you told me before, I don't want you to toss it. But you didn't want everyone else to know. And then I just rolled out, and
no one.
That was I was a seventh grader. I thought I was on top of the world that day. It was like one of the greatest days of my middle school time.
Has Greenhouse football really changed?
Oh, okay.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. So since we have a local celebrity, Harrison, why don't you tee him up with some local questions here?
I mean,
let's talk local sports.
Rangers are in the middle of the pack, but a half a game behind for their would you say conference? No, division. So what are your expectations for the Rangers this year?
Well, it's been a really disappointing last 2 years because if you think about it, the Rangers have been here since 1972, and they didn't make the playoffs for the first time until 30 years ago, 1996, celebrating the 30-year anniversary of that. I'm sure you remember that, right?
I was absolutely there, yeah.
And so that's almost 3 decades without making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Red Sox fan. Yeah. The Red Sox had a long curse, but the Red Sox were still competitive at times.
Yeah.
And since then, they've won a number of World Series. Well, the Rangers organization has probably been more defined by heartbreak because of 2011 and what happened. Now, winning the World Series in 23 was amazing, but then you follow that up with 2 years in which you don't make the playoffs. Yeah. And so the Rangers and Chris Young are trying to establish a foundation of being a perennial contender. You're not going to win every year, but to be a contending team every year. And so I think this is a big year for the Rangers to respond to the disappointment of the last 2 years while they still have veterans like Corey Seager and Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi, hopefully playing again this year at a top level. But the reality is they didn't perform well the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So They pitch really well. They have one of the best pitching staffs, or at least starting rotations in baseball. The question, oddly, for Rangers fans is whether or not they can hit, because for my whole childhood and really up until the last couple of years, and same with Dr. Rush, it was the opposite. It was, can they pitch enough? It's always been an organization that can hit, and they've got the talent. Like on paper, they should be able to, but for whatever reason, the last couple of years, they've fallen short of that.
I mean, I think I see it, like a lot, not even just baseball, but I mean, you talk about like champions. For example, like the Celtics in 24, the next year, last year, they didn't even make it to the, Eastern Conference Finals. So I think it's really hard in professional sports. Obviously, everything is hard in professional sports, but to go back to back, like as a champion, like the target's on your back. So it's definitely like surprising though when you see teams that win the championship and then quote fall off the next year. So yeah, that's what I think.
The good thing about baseball season is there are a lot of games to go. So half a game back now doesn't mean much. It's all how you get healthy, stay healthy, get to the playoffs, and then the team that gets hot wins. So
but on another subject. Cooper Flagg, a lot of people said, I would say last week, Con Knippel was the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. In the past 6 games, he's had 83 points. But last weekend, Cooper Flagg in 2 games had 96 points. I think that pretty much secured his Rookie of the Year. So what do you think about that?
Well, I know you got to, didn't you go to the game Sunday?
Yes.
Sunday? What was that experience like?
That was sick. He had like 20 in the first quarter. I thought he was gonna break more than 50, but he had like 45. Still amazing to watch.
Still amazing. That. I mean, it's just fun to watch, and there's somewhat of a silver lining on the Dirk. on the Luka trade. But it's fun to watch him, and we're fortunate that we get to have a guy like that.
I mean, it all worked out.
So you
don't know yet.
You don't know yet, but it's certainly fun to watch, and there's a lot of promise there. And what do you have? 51 points the other day, so that's not terrible.
I mean, Luka obviously got them to a championship, but I mean, he never really won it. So
right.
Cooper Flagg can change the narrative.
And I will point out, as we look back just really quickly, you and I both said that the Lakers were going to fall short, and then of course over the weekend, lost not only Luka, but
2 best players.
But exactly. Lost Reeves too.
Maybe for the season.
Yeah. So I don't think the Lakers are going anywhere, especially with San Antonio and OKC and in the West. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I really hope San Antonio and Oklahoma City meet up in the playoffs. I think they will, but you never know, like what could happen, injury, what have you. I hope both those teams are healthy, and it'd be great if it was the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, I think it's going to obviously play out that way. That's going to be a lot of fun because Wemby healthy he's pretty ridiculous, and even though OKC probably has the better team overall, Wemby on his own can take over a series.
Though, Wemby's definitely in his career, I think, is definitely going to a championship, if not winning multiple. But I mean, the experience is really like a key factor. So against OKC, who is really young but just is coming off a championship, it'll be really interesting, like you said, to see them match up.
Jared, I don't know if you know, but if you listened to last week's show, but Harrison's saying that Wemby could, if he stays healthy, could be the greatest of all time.
I said. If he
stays healthy.
I said, yeah. I mean, I said better than, I think, LeBron's legacy. So, I mean, that's second greatest all time.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Hey, if he does stay healthy and does what he's doing for the next 15 years.
Too early to tell.
The thing that, like, I don't want to say I lose sleep over, but I root for greatness, right? Like, I think it's cool to be able to say you got to watch this or that. Like, you guys had your Olympics episode and talking about, like, your favorite memories. And, like, I wasn't alive for the 1980 Miracle on Ice. I think one of the questions was if you could go back in time, right?
Yeah.
But it's still cool to hear about it. But, gosh, it's so special to, like, live it or experience it. So, like, I root. Obviously, I have my favorite teams, and I don't want my favorite teams to lose in the moment at the expense of a great team or a great player. But if we got to see a guy like Wemby stay healthy, it's just there's no precedent for someone of that size staying healthy for a long period of time. And Same with Chet Holmgren, right? And he's obviously not the level of Wemby, but he's still a really good player.
Yeah.
I hope those guys can stay healthy because Wemby, like the first game of the year against the Mavericks.
I was there. That was
Yeah,
really
I watched on TV. But
I mean, that's just like, it was silly. Like, it wasn't, it was like if you created a player on what we used to play NBA Live or something, like, I don't know what the NBA 2K is, what you guys play. And you'd make, 7 whatever, and then like 99 on all the attributes.
Yeah.
That's like what it was like watching him that game.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Crazy.
All right, so this actually leads great into 2 homework assignments. I got one for you, Harrison, and one for you, Jared. So let's connect to the Mavs for just a second. Okay, top 5, and just name the individuals, not the point total. Top 5 scoring games by a Mavericks rookie.
Rookie.
Okay, number 1. Who is it?
Cooper Flag.
Number 2.
Cooper Flag.
Number 3.
Cooper Flag.
Number 4.
I don't think was it? No, I'm just gonna say Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag. Number 5. It is not Cooper Flag. Who is number 5? And this obviously you referenced how many points Cooper scored the last several games, but over the course of the season, he's had a number of 40-plus point games, and then had the 51. But coming in at number 5, can you name?
Is it Mark Aguirre?
It is Mark Aguirre.
Really?
Look at Harrison.
Look at
5 for 5.
I was going to guess Roddy Beaubois. Because I remember he had like one good game that everyone thought like he actually is going to be.
Jay Vincent way before both
Jay
of you,
Vincent.
but Jay Vincent was also up there. I think he's 6. I got to watch Aguirre and Jay Vincent play back in the day. All right, so Jared, I'm going to ask you a Rangers related question. I'm a little sad for the Rangers offense when you are hoping on guys like Nimmo and McCutchen and some older guys. But Andrew McCutchen hit a home run the other day for the Rangers. And so my question is, the oldest Ranger the oldest player who's wearing a Ranger uniform, who was that?
Oldest player to hit a home run, or just in general?
For the Rangers. They were wearing a Rangers uniform at that time.
Are you talking about? Not right now. You're talking about all time. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think Julio Franco played for the Rangers at past that age, did he?
He did not.
Okay, so, man, this is a good one. And this is just Rangers, not Senators?
Just Rangers. So Andrew McCutchen is number 2.
Yeah. So that means someone either 39 or 40.
Just a little older.
My lifetime?
Your lifetime. You were alive.
Was he like legit like knew about them or no?
Huh. Who is it?
The old. I'll start with before McCutchen. The second guy was Sin-Soo Choo, who was 37.
Yeah, that's not like I don't think of that as. I mean, that's old in sports. Okay.
Andrew McCutchen is 39.
Yeah.
The oldest was 40. It was Andres Galarraga.
Wow, the big cat.
The big cat.
So you want to know what's funny about that? I was in Dr. Rush's class when I don't know if you remember this, when we found out that Alex Rodriguez was signing with the Rangers.
I do remember this.
Yes. We flipped out. I think we found out right before class.
Right.
And we were both kind of like excited about it. I remember on my composition folder, I just kept writing the terms of the contract, like 12-250. But Andres Galarraga was on that. They signed all these like random veterans, Randy Velarde, Andres Galarraga, Ken Caminiti. All right, Andres Galarraga. I love it.
Wow. And then the second part of the question is the oldest player to ever hit a home run in a major league game.
Julio Franco,
48 years old, Harrison.
Jeez.
48. That was awesome.
That's crazy.
All right, so now back to the segment that we started last week. Hot takes. Mm-hmm. All right, Harrison, you go first. Get Jared in on this too.
So my first one, they're both basketball.
Okay.
My first one is that Cooper Flag will be a Boston Celtic before he is 30 years old.
Wow.
You're just trying to break Mavericks fans' hearts?
So
I think he's just trying to put that out into the universe as a Celtics fan.
So let me explain. So first of all, obviously the Mavs are going to have a great pick this year, but Cooper Flag, he's 19 right now. He has it for 3 more years. He'll be 22 by the time his rookie deal is over.
Right.
I'm expecting for him to sign a max extension, which will get him for 5 more years. my prediction is if the Mavs, in 5 more years, he'll be 27. If the Mavs aren't in a scenario for winning, and the Celtics are giving him the same amount of money, Jason Tatum will be gone. Jaylen Brown will probably be gone. They're going to be old, 34, 35. That Cooper Flagg is going to want to sign with his hometown team.
I mean, that's a good take.
Yeah.
I like that. I get
Listen, Luka can get traded for nothing. Then anything can happen, right?
Yeah. Possible. All right, so mine, because it is Masters Week, I have the green jacket on today. It is Masters Week. It is not supposed to rain. The weather is supposed to be beautiful all week in Augusta, which means hard and very fast greens. And my take is that the winner on Sunday will have less than 9.5. So I'm saying -9 or worse will be the winner.
Okay.
That's my take.
Who's your pick?
Coach Novikov actually asked me this a second ago when I went down for lunch, and I said it's a little bit homer, but I just, Scheffler's kind of been under the radar this season. Started poorly, and then was too far behind, and then he's taken a couple weeks off here. They just had their second child, so I obviously it's hard to count him out. He's just so good, and then Jon Rahm I think has a good shot at this one. He's hitting the ball well and. Obviously playing live golf predominantly, but he knows the course. He's won. He's those are two guys. I love JT just always. I just like who he is. But I guess I'll can't go wrong with Scheffler, right?
Have either of you guys been to Augusta?
No.
I haven't either. That's one of those I don't know that I'll ever get to go to the Masters.
Well, shout out to one of my really, really good friends who happens to be assistant athletic director at the University of Michigan. My good friend Adam Dunn. He was at the national championship game last night, and I texted him this morning on my flight, and I said, "Congrats on another national championship," because obviously he won football 2 years ago. And he's like, "You're gonna hate me, but I got in a car and I've driven all night, and we're going to practice around in Augusta."
That is unbelievable.
Dude, it's the greatest. You get to watch your alma mater and the university you work for win a natty, and then go to the.
Well, he might get a third. What is it next week? Is the Frozen Four?
Yeah.
Michigan's
So
yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
All right. What's your second one?
My second one, when Steph Curry retires, which will be in the next few years. He's going to retire as the most influential basketball player in modern basketball history. Which I'm talking, I'd say more honestly, since I know Jordan, such a big impact, and LeBron, but I mean, I think out of everything that's changed, the 3-pointer, even though it was incorporated in the 90s or a little late 80s, I think the way he's changed how people are shooting and the 40-plus shot 3-pointers a game just by a team, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't, when I'm talking influence, he doesn't have the biggest shoe brand, or he might not even have the most jerseys bought, but I don't even think he's the most motivational player. But I think the way he's changed basketball, I don't think Jordan or LeBron did more than what he did, honestly.
Interesting. I like that take. I think you're right to define sort of what is influential in that, because you could talk about, as you said, shoes or being in movies, or take somebody like Shaq, who obviously continues to be an on-air. Yeah, right. I mean, and he's in commercials, and he's in movies, and he had a couple rap albums back in the day.
Did you buy any of them?
I mean, I have a song. I only know his birthday because he raps that in it. He was born 3/6/72. But you're right to say influence. What is influence? And I agree in terms of outside shooting. He's definitely made that a big deal.
I think even the amateur side of things, you go see a 5th grade game, and they're 3 points. Yeah, it's just it's. I think I don't even know if he needs the next few years. I mean, you could make a case right now that.
Well, he's also a really good golfer. It'd be interesting to see if he tries to
unreal, right?
Tournament there, and then it's Jordan-esque on the baseball front. Anyway,
some of these athletes are just they're so good at their one sport, and then you put them in another environment, and they're fine. But some of these guys, they just whatever they want to do.
Right.
They're so incredibly gifted. Like
Unfair.
Jacob DeGrom, decided one year in high school to play soccer. He led his conference in goals. He was dunking in 7th grade. Like, it just, ping pong. He's the best. It's like, it's unbelievable.
We talked about some GOATs a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson was the same. Like,
Bo Jackson.
Anything he wants, so.
What about that girl?
Yeah. You're talking about Babe Diedrichs Harris.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Babe
but
Diedrichs
yeah.
Harris. I was thinking about even somebody like Tom Glavine, Hall of Famer.
Hockey.
Amazing hockey player.
Yeah.
All right, so last one for me is college basketball. On both sides. One, none of the teams that made the Final Four this year will be in the Final Four next year in the men's bracket. And South Carolina on the women's side will win the national championship next year because Dawn Staley is a competitor, and the way that they were embarrassed on Sunday will not sit well with her. And so I think they'll be back. They're always really, really good to begin with, and I think it's mission time for the Gamecocks.
We might have to go through the Trojans with Juju Watkins healthy, Jazzy Davidson. USC is now a women's basketball school, guys. That's our
says the proud alum.
Yeah,
no bias there.
Yeah, no bias.
But I agree with that. I think Arizona. I mean, they're gonna lose some guys, but of course they're gonna get people. I hope to see Duke in the Final Four next year. But like I talked to you earlier, it's just like the experience with all the freshmen. They're getting number 3, 15, and like 10 in the nation, and like 28th in the nation. But I mean, I feel like they get a lot of these guys all the time. So I'll be questioned. I'll see Michigan's losing their best player, Yaxel Lendenborg. But it'll be interesting. I definitely agree with that, though. But UConn, too, man. I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
It'll be interesting.
That's why it's hot take.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so final segment. This is the big one. Harrison and I have been talking about this for a while. We wanted to debut it, but we wanted to wait for a special guest. So we've talked about this in the hallway. We've talked to teachers, people walking by, and the question is, what is a sport? How do you define a sport?
What's your definition?
So what's your definition of a sport? And so contextually, I remember back when I was in middle school, we had a similar argument, and obviously we didn't know as much. No offense, Harrison. We didn't know as much. And we talked about, you have to be able to play defense, right? You have to have some sort of defense to have it be a sport. But then, of course, there were all kinds of contradictions. So let's just start with some Tier 1, and I'll just ask you guys questions. We'll roll through this. So Tier 1 questions. This is a yes or no. Definition of a sport. Does it have to have a ball involved to be a sport?
No.
No, I think I agree with that. What about, can it be solo, or does it have to be team?
I think it can be solo. I think it's golf and tennis.
Tennis, yeah, for sure.
All right, so I think, some basic things, right? There's certainly more sports out there that do not have a ball, and there's plenty of sports that are solo and team, whether that's a partner or football, soccer, etc. You have 11 players.
So you mean solo? Does solo mean
just totally by yourself?
Just totally by yourself. No coach, or could you still have a coach?
You still have a coach, but you perform by yourself. Like
perform by
golf,
yourself. Okay.
Golf is a great example.
All right, yeah.
All right. So then let's talk about like tier 2. So let's go to the question about defense. Mm-hmm. Does the activity have to have defense in it in order to be a sport?
I don't think. I mean, does golf have defense? You can't defend your. I think it's hard for you to I feel like you can't really defend anything in golf. Like, you can defend your score by making it better, but you can't stop someone else from. I think that's a good definition. You can't really stop your opponent from getting a better score than you have, or something like that.
Right. So broadening the definition of defense maybe is something like, take golf as a prime example. You can play safe, right? You can be in a lead by 4 or 5 strokes, and you're just basically playing it safe. Mm-hmm. You could argue that that's playing defense, or maybe even defensively, right? And not against another person, like basketball or some other thing. Jared, I'm curious, what on the defense side, what do you think?
Yeah, I think in that vein, having strategy. So like I'm thinking the one that sticks in my head, like if I went for a run today, just on my own, I wanted to go run 2 miles, and you asked me, what'd you do today? I don't know if I would feel accurate in saying I was playing sports. But but track and field is, I mean, that's sports. So why? But like if I went to go play basketball, I would say I was just playing some sports today. Like even if I went to go shoot on my own. So like I think in that respect, if I just went for a run, there's no defense involved. I'm just trying to work out. But like
unless you're avoiding cars.
right. Playing like Frogger.
Right.
Yeah. If I was doing cross country though, I might not have like someone defending me, but there's strategy involved, right? So I think like defense or strategy.
Defensive strategy. I like that.
Like if you're racing someone.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to the racing thing. Just saying. So one maybe offshoot of this, back to the sort of going out for a run for your first personal fitness, is the idea of an activity versus a sport. Mm-hmm. And I'll come back with some sports in a second. So, okay, here's another sort of tier 2. Does a sport need to involve physical strain? Like you got to sweat a little bit. And I don't mean because there's no air conditioning inside. I mean like you're doing something aerobic, getting the heart going. Is that required?
Well,
now keep in mind, like a golfer, and I'm not talking just because it's hot, but you walk. You walk, in theory, you walk 4 days.
Yeah. And
most golf courses, having walked many, are 7, 8, 9 miles that's 1 day. So that's a lot of and undulations and hills and obviously moments of stress to make a putt or make whatever. So the question is, does there have to be some sort of physical strain involved?
I mean, well, my definition of what I would say would be like an act, something that takes physical or like strategic exertion on your body. So I mean, people count chess as a sport, but it gets your heart rate up. Like it might get your heart, like you might start like, thinking, and I don't know, something like that. But it takes zero, like legit, like zero, physical exertion to play chess besides sitting there. Of course, you can't not be able to like move your arms or move your legs or something like that. But there's no physical, I feel like, really exertion on your body.
So you put chess in the sort of activity bucket, not sport bucket.
I mean, people. I guess when you look it up, it's classified as a sport. But I don't know. That's like a toss-up because, I mean, that's really, like, opinionated. I mean...
All right, well, so we're here for opinions.
Yeah.
I'll save you. I'll jump in. I'll let you think. I don't think of chess as a sport, but that's also not to say anything negative about chess.
Yeah.
But, like, as we're laying out the definition, I don't think, you could show up eating a pack of gummy bears and 17 Cokes and whatever, and I'm sure there are ways that like mentally that impacts you, but like I think of chess as a game, and it's an incredibly intellectual and strategic game that the best are so impressive.
Right.
I don't think it's like an indictment against chess or chess players to say it's not a sport. I just don't think of chess as a sport.
But you could argue I agree with you, but it's sort of like a mental sport rather 100%, than a physical sport.
But I think that's where, like, if there's only the mental side of it, I think that's where it becomes like a game. And I don't mean game like, like childishly.
Parcheesi, right?
Yeah, like I don't think there should be anything negative about the category of game, but I think it is a game.
So you brought up another sort of tier 2 for me is, do you have to be physically fit? Do you have to be in good shape in order to play a sport?
I mean...
And we're talking physical sport.
I mean, I think since we just said that chess is technically not a sport, then it's more like physical. To play hockey, I mean, like really any sport that really takes a lot of physical exertion, I feel like, you can't be like not, like really not in shape. I think the only sport, which is not like a negative, not the only sport, I think one of the sports where you don't need to be as fit as you need to be for like, football or even like soccer. I'd say baseball, not as like a shot at baseball, but I feel like you could be a little less fit in baseball than you need to be for like a sport like football or hockey or something like that.
I think I probably would agree with you on the baseball thing. Certainly in the, anything before, let's just say 2000, just the year 2000.
Yeah, you
because there are definitely guys that were like
David Wells is the commonly
smoking cigarettes
or Babe Ruth. Yeah,
exactly.
You can't be like you can't be. I'm saying you
but
can't
nowadays,
be like 6 foot, 500 pounds. Like that's like ridiculous. But
Sure.
I'm saying you could be someone who is not as fit as a football player or even like a tennis player or something like that to be able to play baseball. Now, baseball arguably is the hardest thing to do in sports, but that's no shot. That's just saying.
Well, I think the way baseball is set up too, and Jared, please comment on this, is with the position of DH in particular, there's a spot where you could have an older guy or a slightly out of shape guy, but especially now, 2026. I mean, any place else, you've got to be. It's just a very different, in a good way. You've got to be an athlete.
Oh yeah.
And I also think there's a degree of the, you mentioned golf 4 straight days. They play 162 games in 183 days. That's just the regular season.
Right.
That's 3 off days a month, basically. I think they're like a single game in a vacuum. Do you need to be in the same level of condition as a hockey player? No. And hockey's like, that to me is just, it's unbelievable what those guys do. But to do it for, let's just say you play 150 of those games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that, and I don't even have, I never did it. So like I can't, but
Yeah.
I see these guys on a daily basis. And just because when they take their shirt off, there's not a 6-pack, like these guys are incredibly strong, and their ability to run that marathon of a baseball season, that's like a different type of fitness.
Yeah, I feel like when you talk about like fit, it's not like you have to be like like jacked and have a 6-pack. Like look at like for example like linemen, like they're obviously not jacked and have a 6-pack, but like the stamina that they have
Right.
to be able to.
Offensive linemen in the NFL still run.
Yeah, they might be that's a
different
total different.
Well, I like what you said about baseball too, because there's the mental part
Yeah.
of. I mean, you're failing 150 games. You're failing a lot, and so that part is just part of the game, but so mental. So
And the other thing too, and this isn't necessarily a part of the definition, but like Jock Peterson the other day hit a home run. It was his first hit of the year. He had been booed. Now Jock has made plenty of money in his career. He's had success. He's won a couple World Series. But like, I think about the mental grind, like for guys who maybe haven't accomplished that, and they are playing for their livelihood or their families.
That's right.
Guys that come over from countries like impoverished situations, and their success is going to depend or is going to influence whether they can feed family. Like that's like when I go play whatever I'm going to go play, like I go 0 for 17 from 3, like whatever, like not going to impact me.
Yeah.
I might kick a chair, but like that's the chair's problem, not mine. But like there's like a different level of mental
For sure.
stress for
All right,
these
so
guys.
just some quick hitters. This is yes or no, right? So just to finish it up. All right, so NASCAR driver, sport?
Yes, I
Yes.
think there's a level of fitness that we don't
For sure.
comprehend.
All right, what about polo, Harrison? Polo. The horse, you could argue the horse is doing the stuff
I
there.
don't think so.
No sport.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm not as familiar with polo to comment.
Field hockey on the horse, essentially.
Yeah. I'll say yes because it's fitting the definitions that we've set out. Ball, strategy, defense.
What about a marathoner, straight running for 2-3 hours?
I'm gonna say it's an activity competition because you just said when you go out to run. I mean, obviously you're not running a marathon, and you're not like it's not like a marathon, but I mean you're both running. You do have people that you're trying to beat, but I would not say that running I would not say if you're a marathon runner that you're like
You're playing sports.
that you're playing a sport.
if I just go out and run a marathon myself, no. But if I am in a race where there is a defined winner, I think that's a sport.
I think it also brings another sort of subcategory, which is some of these people are athletes, but they may not be playing a sport as we are defining.
That's fair,
like,
yeah.
A marathoner is definitely
athlete, yeah.
And there's no real, like, actual answer to...
Correct.
Can I throw one out? Or do you have another?
No, I've got a few more, but go ahead.
And this is going to sound silly, but kickball.
Kickball
To me is a sport, but just because it's not played professional, or maybe there are, I don't know. Because it's not the NBA, NHL, whatever, but like every definition we have,
For sure.
like there's a ball, there's a defense. It does take some physicality. There's strategy. Like I think like PE activities are sports. We just might not like as a society pursue them as sports.
Yeah, no.
Professionalized. Right.
I always wanted there to be a professional kickball
All right,
league.
so yeah, well, we had some of that in 5th grade back in the day. So how about pickleball?
Yeah, I'd say it's a sport. Mm-hmm.
Number one sport for Achilles tears for people 35 and over.
Ooh.
Just
Really?
for FYI, for any of you who are out there listening.
I'm out. Trade my paddle in right now.
So Paul Tidmore, Mr. Tidmore, who works here, he's a former college runner, and he does 100-mile races.
Jeez.
Sport or not a sport?
Yeah, I don't think I've run 100 miles.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's a mental thing, and like the challenge and all that, but is it a sport?
I think since I said marathon's not, I think I'm going to have to switch. I'm going to say, because I think that's a sport, which means you kind of have to say a marathon's a sport, so I'll say yes.
So the thing about a lot of those races it's kind of marathons, and those are, yes, there's competition, but most of the competition is against yourself. Like, can you do it? Can you get through the mental and physical test of 26 miles or 100 miles in the mountain when it's cold and finish within the 36-hour time frame or 20, whatever the parameters. All right, so here's a potential controversial one. Cheerleading.
Ooh. I have a daughter. I now have a 8-week-old daughter, so I got to be careful.
What type of cheerleading?
There's the right question to ask.
Oh,
so
cheerleading
and
I'm not
talking about
game.
I'm not talking about Friday night cheer.
Okay.
In terms of like on the sidelines, I'm talking about
professional
on ESPN or
going
even in taps
like a competition.
Competition, right? Like cheer squads.
I'd say yeah. I'd say it's
the movie Bring It On.
Bring It On. Yeah. That's a great delineation. The competitive. I mean, they throw the flyers. Is that what they're called?
Exactly.
And that is a sport.
Tumbling and all kinds of stuff.
But the on the sideline, there's nothing wrong with that. You can be really good at that, but to me, that's more of an activity.
High school basketball cheerleading, for example, is less.
Yeah. So I got like 2.
Okay, what do you got?
Actually, sorry, 3. Bowling.
Bowling? Is that what you said? Bowling?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go activity. I love bowling. I do. I've played it. I've even bowled a 297 one time. But,
are you serious?
But it's like it is a competition. You do not have to be athletic. Obviously, you do not have to be in shape. You can compete against yourself, score, or you can have a competition. But I feel like when you're not an athlete, you're just not a. I mean, like darts.
I wonder. The only thing.
Pinball. I mean,
the only thing pinball is definitely an activity. The only thing gives me pause is, and you know this like from a baseball standpoint. People joke about pitchers not being athletes, but the reality is, the best pitchers are oftentimes great athletes because they can repeat the mechanics. Right? There's something like super athletic about repeating a motion that we don't think of as like athleticism. And the only hesitation I have is the ability to repeat that mechanic of bowling and to be as precise as you need to be, because the other parts are there. There's a like, to me, objective winner. I like that. There is strategy. Maybe the defense is like based on how your opponent is bowling alongside you. There's a ball, but I don't know about the physical part of it. But I wonder, like,
fair.
For sure.
Fair. What else?
Okay,
you got,
so I got pool.
So I think to me, if you say pool is, then you've got to say bowling is. If you say pool isn't, then you've got to say bowling.
I think
isn't.
all those types of games, like the billiards, that kind of like it's not that you don't have to have skill, but I don't think you have to be an athlete as we define it.
You don't. You know what? I was thinking you don't have to. like pool, you can just work on pool, like your pool skills. You don't have to. Maybe I'm wrong. You don't have to go like take some time on the treadmill to prepare for your pool match.
That's right.
Right? Like I like you don't have to.
You might go order another beverage.
Yeah. That might help.
Okay,
yeah.
so last one. This is actually going on fishing.
Fishing. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because, I mean, think about it. You can sit in a chair and just fish, but you can also, if you're in a... It's almost like I feel you could say that for cheerleading. If you're in a competition...
I'm gonna say no. That may be controversial, but I think about when I've watched... Yes, I have watched this on television. You know, they do the little, like, they move the boat into a spot. They do the depth finder. They know that there are fish below there. Yes, you can throw chum or use the right kind of bait and that kind of thing, but there's really a lot of element of luck there. I don't know. You don't have to be in shape. I don't know. You can really play defense. You may have to adjust to like water conditions or, that kind of thing. But I don't know. To me, that's activity.
Well, like
hobby.
Yeah.
Like Jared said, you don't have to go out to a treadmill. You don't have to go out and really like lift weights. I mean, unless you're like getting a big fish,
right.
But I mean, still.
Happy Gilmore taking down the alligator. That was a sport. I don't know that fishing. I think I would put fishing in the game activity category.
I mean, WWE, sport or not a sport.
That's
for another episode.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
Because the winning losing thing is a little muddy there.
Well, Jared, we know that you're a super busy guy, so thank you for taking time to be with us and humor us and just share your perspective. It's really awesome to see you as an adult, and I talk about this all the time, and now it's happening. So forever I've always thought about, it's not the 10-year-old version or the 18-year-old version of people. It's the 38, 48, 58-year-old version of people that I really care about, and to watch you follow your passion and be really successful and give back to the community and do all the things that I know some of the things that you and your wife have endured. I mean, all that stuff just says everything about the man that you've become, and I'm really proud of you. And so, from a personal perspective, really proud of you, and wish you continued personal and professional success in all you do. Say hi to those crazy brothers of yours from me and your dad. And so, thanks for being with us.
Well, yes, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for just being a friend and being a part of my growth and everything. I mean, you Dr. Rush, have been, you've been really influential. I appreciate that. And H, I remember when your dad told me you had this podcast when we were at my nephew's bar mitzvah, and I listened, and it's been a lot of fun listening to you guys do this. And I'm an episode behind. I apologize. Baseball season gets hectic.
No problem.
But I am a loyal listener, and I love the work you guys are doing. So keep doing it.
Thank you.
Well, just to finish up the sport conversation, you better watch out, because this guy's gonna gun for your job.
Hey, that's fine. Hey, he can be my partner, or he can take my job. I'll spend some more time with the family.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we will see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining.